How do you prepare for an interview today? Where do you keep your resume? And why is LinkedIn so important? This and so much more you will find out from Connor Blair, who started umami.io. Thank you, Connor, for allocating some time to speak with me today. I am so thrilled that we met at Viva Tech. How are you doing? How's Paris?
It's great. I'm happy to be here and to have a quick chit chat with you.
Amazing. So, in Silicon Valley, I see so many Europeans moving to the Valley. And I see you do the opposite, an American who moves to France to build his startup. Tell me, what's the reason?
Sure. So I didn't move to France to build a startup. I more moved to France because my wife is French and we have a daughter and we wanted to raise our daughter close to her family. So that was why I'm in France. And then from there, I found some great other entrepreneurs and we started a business together.
So love and family took you to Paris. That sounds ideal. Perfect. So you built Umami for companies to easily hire or make the process of hiring the right candidates in a much better, more smooth way. How did you come up with the idea? Where did it come from?
Sure. So my co-founder, Stefan, he had ran a successful startup prior to working on Umami. And one issue that he encountered again and again was recruiting. And one way that he found the most success of finding the most talented people for his team is to do the outreach and connections himself. But that's a major blocker for him because he doesn't have the time. So he found that the best way to find people and connect to people is not waiting for them to apply to the job, it is to reach out to them directly using his account. Okay, so from here, you decided to start a full-on business. Was it AI native from the get-go? Yeah, it was always going to be an AI business. I think in the time right now, I think most companies realize that they need to build using AI, at least for software. So we build our product using AI that is validated with human input and review. And then the actual product itself has AI throughout the product, and it has since day one. Mm-hmm. Since day one, which was, how many years have you been working on this now? We have been working on this for a little over a year. Amazing. Okay. So, and when it comes to your clients today for Umami, is it mostly US based or Europe? We primarily focus on the European market, but we do have clients within the United States. And in the States, I know it's about 20 to 25% that, you have to pay the recruiting company for, hiring, and it's not very efficient. Hence, I understand the whole point of Umami, where you bring in the best quality talent that matches the requirement of a company. And so they save a lot of time instead of like hashing through all these resumes. They already have them in their inbox. And then now it's just time spending on actually talking to these perfect candidates. So that makes sense. How is the savings part? When you pitch to a company, I bet you talk about the costs and the savings of time. When it comes like financially, how big of a difference do you see? Oh, it's pretty significant. It really depends on the hiring process that the company has. So you're correct. Like if you use a traditional recruiter, you're going to have 20% of the annual salary is going to be given as the, actual amount that you will obtain for getting the person hired. What we do is we don't do that at all. We offer two services. We have our SaaS offering where you can use the tool yourself to find people, and that's a monthly fee of 250 euros a month. And we've seen companies who have successfully hired within the first 2 to 3 months using our platform for roles such as software engineers, where their salary can be quite high, mostly in the United States. So the value that you get and from a cost perspective is much better with our platform. Not only are you going to hire faster, but you're going to save thousands of dollars by using our platform instead of a traditional recruiter. And I've read that you're not positioning as, hey, we're replacing HR. You are kind of the helping tool. So have you seen, I would say, does that
influence the number of HR people on the team when, if you already have these additional helping tools?
So what we like to think of it, this is how we think about it. We want humans to do what humans are amazing at, and we want robots and computers to do what they're amazing at. So we help do the stuff that a recruiter at a company may or may not really like to do. And for example, scan the internet to find profiles. Our system can do that much faster and more precise than a human would be able to do. And we automate the connection process for using an account, from sending out the LinkedIn invitation to actually proposing messages, pulling insights out of the messages to help create a talent pool. And then we leave what we believe is the most important human component, is actually determining if this person's a good fit for your company. And we don't think AI is great at that, but humans are great at that. So we want to bring humanity back into hiring, because if you've ever applied to a job in the last few years, it doesn't feel human at all. I mean, you send your resume. I'm going to give you an example. Let's say that you are an engineer with years of experience building on AWS, and you applied to a job where the role is maybe Azure or GCP. Well, you're going to be just fine. It might take a little bit of a week or two of ramp up, but at the end of the day, it's just a different name for the same thing. But in traditional tooling, they won't see Azure on your LinkedIn, for example, and they'll throw your resume out the door. But for our system, we are able to determine that that is a very good application. So we are able to find these people that might be excellent for this role that a traditional recruiter wouldn't be able to know, because they don't know every single thing about every unique industry and niche. So that's a big positive. We allow humans to then focus on what they're really good at, is making sure this person's actually a good cultural fit for the company.
Now, another question I have, which is I think is a complicated one. I'm not sure whether you have the answer, but I'm still very curious. For many of my students, when they complete the program and they want to get hired as product managers. Now we're working on the resume, you put it in the right format, the F or the Z, make sure that the attention is there. And you still understand that you need to go through ATS first to actually get to a human. And when it comes to it, of course, most people today will rewrite their resume with AI tool. And hopefully they won't lie, because eventually, if you even make it to the interview, you'll talk human to human, right? Just like you said. Have you seen, or, have you seen the high rise of resumes written, with the help of AI and then matching with your system? So it's basically AI talking to AI, and hopefully there is a match. That's the first part of the question.
Sure. So we definitely see a huge rise in applications and resumes that have been generated using AI to meet the job requirements. And one issue that our clients have is they're having a very difficult time actually processing all these resumes, because there's so many now. Imagine, like, if you bring down the cost of applying to near zero because of AI, the flood of resumes that are hitting their system is so much that it's very difficult for them to actually analyze all of these resumes. And that's one reason that our customers like to use our system, because what our system does is we go and find people. Not necessarily, we can do both. We also handle inbound and we grade people fairly. We use the same criteria and the same scorecard that someone who applied to a job would get to outbound, but our customers primarily like to use our outbound system, because we find people who didn't apply, who did not adjust the resume to fit the exact need, but have the skills or useful skills. So I think, to be helpful to your audience, one thing that I would recommend doing is making sure your online profiles are up to date. What did you do at that job? What skills did you apply at that job? The more information that we have about you, the more likely that our system is not only going to find you, but is also going to score you higher in our system. And then our system has a feedback loop. As we communicate with you via messages, our score will adjust. So if we message you and say, do you have any experience within agile methodologies? And you're like, yes, I've been a product owner at a prior company, and we did that, our score would go up. But if you don't have that on your online profiles, our system is going to assume either we don't know or you do not have it. depending on
Wow.
other factors.
So do you scrub it or mostly like LinkedIn or any other platforms? Where do we need to improve?
I would recommend improving primarily on LinkedIn. It is the king of these data sources. Our system scrubs more than that. We use third-party providers that extract data from all forms of data sources. So I can't give you one answer, but if I were in that position, I would say LinkedIn is where I would start. Make sure that's up to date. And just for an example, under employment history, put the stuff that you actually did at that company and then link the skills to that job, because the more information that our system has and systems like ours, the more likely that we're going to be able to find you and propose you opportunities directly to you rather than you having to go and find them.
Modern life type of thing. And hence a lot of times they don't update it. They will have their role, they'll have the, company, but no description, which I keep honing on to, to improve. And thank you so much for giving that exact explanation why it is important today when AI talks to AI and how it actually goes with the outbound option. All right, let's step away from the advice, which I really, really love. When it comes to you as a founder, we also have founders who build their products and then they're like, okay, now I have to raise, now I need to get customers. How has it been for you? And maybe you have a couple pieces of advice for those who are just starting as founders.
Just starting as founders, I think the most important advice I would give you is don't do anything for free. It's the most important thing, because you need to actually ensure that someone's willing to pay for what you are offering. So it doesn't mean you have to figure out what the exact price is or find product market fit yet. That's not the most important part yet. The most important part is, are people willing to pay for the things that I'm building? And one thing is if you have an excellent product, is if someone's willing to walk through glass using your piece of crap product that you just built in the last month to solve a problem that they're having. Because at the end of the day, what you are doing is you are performing a job that needs to be done for them. So when you look at building a product, you need to analyze, is this a job that needs to be done, and how valuable is that job? And if you look at the most successful businesses on the planet, they're performing a very important job or task that needs to be done. So that's the way I would look at it. Make sure you make the person pay. Do not expect that you need to have a polished product at the beginning. Assume that every client that you have in the first few months is going to churn. They're going to churn because they're going to experience the worst product that you will ever have because you just started. But the most important part is you're going to learn what they actually need. That's the most important part. And you're going to know that this is a real problem that they're willing to pay money for. And those are the two most important things to know. Like when I first started Mama with my team, our product was terrible. It was terrible. But the thing is, we realized that people actually were willing to pay for this, and the products on the market were not sufficient for what they were looking for. So we proved that our hypothesis was accurate enough to continue going.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. I think that's great advice as well. From a standpoint of you have to see that the person is willing to pay, no matter what, whether it's $20 or $2,000. It's just the confirmation that you're on the right track. Okay, so what about the future? I know it's predictions and it's unknown, but what do you see in hiring in future, and how Umami is looking at the next 3 years or 5 years? I mean, 5 years is like way too far for AI era. But yeah, what do you see changing, and how is Umami adapting to those predicted changes?
Sure. So I think jobs will change, and I think what people are looking for will change too. At least in hiring, I think skills are still going to be important, and you're always going to want people who, first of all, I think this is more of a detour, but one thing that I think is really important is I think that AI is widening the gap between the self-starters and the doers and the people who need to be told what to do and want to only do enough, because the output and the compounding value that you get when you utilize AI and continuously improve your systems to use AI is exponential. I mean, like, you can use it for almost anything now. So if I would give one piece of advice, is purely from that standpoint is get really good at leveraging AI to perform tasks for your given job. Because a lot of people get these two things slightly confused. Like, I'm gonna use a software engineer as an example. A software engineer, a lot of people think that means you're writing code. Well, that's not really what you do. That is a task typing that you are doing to perform a job, which is to solve a complex technical problem. And now software engineering is one of the first industries that really has changed significantly in the last year. It's now when I write code, I interact with Claude, for example, and I tell Claude the overall objective, what I want it to do, the technical specifications that I want it done in. And many people would assume that software engineering is now dead. I don't think that's true at all. I think it actually has made software engineering more valuable. It just has changed the job. The tasks that I am doing are now different. My previous task was writing code manually. Now the new task is, how do I leverage AI to write the code that I then validate and then figure out the best way to test? But the same job is still there. Writing features, building enhancements, building value for the customer. So when you look at your own job, think about that. What are you actually hired to do? What value you're actually bringing to the company? That's not going to get replaced by AI. You're just going to leverage different tools to perform the same goal.
You're supposed to go faster and better.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for that. And so just to kind of finish up, for this future that you see, you know, the gap is wide. Are there any new things that are happening with Umami that are upcoming sometime soon that we should be waiting for?
We have tons of new features that are coming into the system. Our system is becoming much more advanced. We are now within this actually tomorrow or today, depending on my day, we're going to have way more filters and capabilities to find people. So the system is going to be able to find more precise jobs. So that's one of the small features that are happening near term, like today or tomorrow. Other features that we are working on are improving our AI system to learn. And for example, as you perform actions within Umami, maybe you reject a candidate, maybe you like a candidate and you move them to the hiring process, our system is going to adjust itself to say, oh, okay, they're not looking for this. Oh, they are looking for this. And our system will determine how to adjust everything to make your system better over time. Another feature that we are going to be releasing in the near future is more advanced messaging. So as you continuously use our system will learn how you write and adapt. It can do that a little bit today, but it's going to become much, much more advanced to be able to use it on the go. In addition to that, our AI experience is going to grow significantly. You already can use Umami to do everything within Slack. You could talk to Umami in Slack to do anything. But now our system is going to get more advanced. We're going to support more channels. So if you're a Teams user, you can use it in Teams. If you're WhatsApp, you can use it there. We're going to allow support for all of those as well. So our goal is purely two things. We want to find you the best possible people as quickly as possible. That's the number one most important goal. And the second most important goal is reducing that time. That's our biggest goal, is finding you the best people in the shortest amount of time.
Amazing. I just thought of one of the things you're probably already doing, but I was thinking about, you know, when it comes to Amazon policies and culture and goals, and types of people they want to hire versus types of people somebody at Patagonia is going to hire are different. And I wonder if you also already include this as the type of people with these kind of values and whatnot that you're going to be scanning for. And maybe, I don't even know whether you can officially, but can you go through their social and anything that is publicly available to understand, okay, this profile of a person is perfect for Patagonia and this type of a person is perfect for Amazon type of culture.
That is a great call out. And we actually don't do that. And the reason we don't do that is because we think humans are actually a lot better at determining that. And we want humans to do that. You know, you know your culture better than any AI would be able to replicate. We want to get those people as quickly into interview process as possible, determine if they're a great culture fit. And that's why we don't think we're ever going to replace HR teams or reduce the size of the team. We're just going to allow the team to focus on what's most important, is improving their current team and ensuring that their culture stays intact as they continue to grow and scale as a business.
Thank you, Connor, so much. And for those of you who are looking to improve and enhance your HR, check out umami.io.
In our next video, we will share with you how to build your digital twin and so much more. So subscribe so you don't miss it.